Good afternoon. My name is Lieutenant Steve Fisher with the Minnesota State Patrol Training and Development Section. At this time, the cadets of the 55th Training Academy will be marching into their academy cadence. Please stand as the State Patrol Honor Guard posts the colors. After the colors are posted, Major Bob Meyerson will sing the national anthem. Uniformed personnel, please stand at attention. Non-uniformed personnel, please place your right hand over your heart.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Minnesota Army National Guard Chaplain Major Philip Wynn will now provide the opening reflections.
Good afternoon. If you're a person of prayer, I invite you to join me, and I encourage everyone to take this as an opportunity for quiet reflection. God of peace, your word says that blessed are the peacemakers. We gather to mark this occasion of honoring those who have volunteered to place the needs of others above their own and to acknowledge their effort, their respect for one another, their sacrifice, their training, and their commitment. With the completion of this training, they are fulfilling a dream. May their learning and their courage to serve with integrity, give way to the strength and courage needed to fulfill their duties. And by your grace, empower them to stand against the lesser parts of human nature and against those who would bring harm to our peaceful roadways and communities. Lastly, I ask, may their families draw strength through their faith as their loved ones face danger every day. I ask all of this in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you, Major Wynn. At this time, Director of Training, Captain Lori Hodap, will provide some opening remarks.
Good afternoon. For 16 weeks, the cadets, or let me correct myself, since the day they applied, they've been told what a privilege it is to serve others and to serve the Minnesota State Patrol. It's my privilege at this time to represent them and welcome all of you to this graduation ceremony. It's quite an honor for me to be standing here on their behalf. You can see by the persons represented here on stage what a significant event this is, welcoming Governor Dayton, Commissioner of Public Safety Mona Doman, and Acting Colonel Matt Langer. In our very front row, we have the epitome of service to country and state, representing the United States Military Service, Major General Nash. Thank you for coming. Troopers, I think that we welcome you, in particular, the future supervisors, future partners of the class of the 55th. And to the class of the 55th, I'm sure you welcome all your family and friends, all of the people here to see you achieve such a wondrous and awesome accomplishment. Just behind the front row, we have the Minnesotans for Safe Driving, each of them a victim of a life-altering event on our Minnesota streets and highways. I want you to especially recognize them, for they are who you serve and what you are trying to prevent when you begin your careers as a Minnesota State Trooper. So to all friends and family, to all of you elected officials, appointed officials, to the media, to the troopers, to everyone from our allied agency, a very heartfelt welcome on behalf of the 55th class of the Minnesota State Patrol. At this time, I would like to introduce to you the Commissioner of Public Safety, Mona Doman.
Good afternoon. Graduates, congratulations. You've made it. I remember visiting with you at Camp Ripley in your first weeks of the academy, and now here you are. Graduation day is finally here. We know that you survived a very brutal winter at Camp Ripley, but survive you did, and with great accomplishment. Today, among other things, we celebrate your courage, your tenacity, and your great success. We are very proud of you. We are also very fortunate today, as you can see, and as Captain Hodap commented, Governor Mark Dayton has joined us for this graduation celebration. Mark Dayton is the 40th governor of the state of Minnesota, having begun his first term in 2011. For the past 37 years, Governor Dayton has served Minnesotans as Commissioner of Economic Development and Commissioner of Energy and Economic Development, as State Auditor, and as United States Senator. Governor Dayton remains a steadfast supporter of the Minnesota State Patrol, of law enforcement, and all of public safety. Clearly, his accepting the invitation to join in today is an example of that. It is so exciting to have him with us here today, and it is a great honor and a great privilege for me to give this introduction. Please join me in welcoming Governor Mark Dayton.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you for the superb job you're doing leading the patrol and all of public safety in Minnesota. I apologize in advance for needing to leave after my remarks, but the Minnesota legislature is in the final days or hours, and I sort of have to be there. but I'm glad to be here to join with many others in offering my congratulations to the Fighting Frozen 55. Nothing like a Minnesota winter at Camp Ripley, or this year's spring, which really wasn't much different from the winter. I won't even go there in the summertime. So, but you didn't pick the State Patrol because you wanted a job this easy. Instead, you wanted to become part of an elite organization, which you're joining officially today, one which will hold you to the highest standards of personal and professional conduct, respect, integrity, courage, and honor. They are high ideals. They are even higher and harder when you're out by yourself on some lonesome highway at 2 o'clock in the morning and it's 10 degrees below zero and snowing, and you're walking toward a car that you just pulled over for speeding or drunk driving or for prior offenses. That takes a lot of courage. Every time you do your duty as a State Patrol trooper, you will be putting your life at risk. Every time you will be engaging an unknown person or persons in an unknown condition with unknown whatevers in his or her possession. That requires a lot of courage. You also must couple your courage with respect. Courage without respect is a gunslinger, or worse. You will encounter many difficult, obnoxious, unpleasant people. You'll have to rise above their crude and rude behavior and give them what they don't deserve, respect. Integrity is defined in the dictionary as having strong moral principles or moral uprightness. Thus, integrity is not something you can assume when you put on your uniform and then discard after your shift. Moral uprightness requires you to be upright all the time. Well, almost all the time, which is not easy, I can attest. But again, you didn't pick the Minnesota State Patrol for easy. You picked it for excellence. Finally, honor. Honor is a word that could be used in different ways. In my view, it is an honor to have a chance to serve your fellow citizens, to protect the lives and safety of the people of Minnesota. Honor also means that you must conduct yourselves in such ways as to always bring honor to the State Patrol, to uphold the outstanding record that has been achieved, and to bring honor to it every day. Those are high principles, high ideals. You will be challenged by them every day and every night, especially in the situations you will encounter, where you will find the very worst human tragedies and terrible injustices. I understand that there are relatives here today of some of the innocent Minnesotans whose lives were destroyed by others' drunkenness, recklessness, or distraction. Those perpetrators were in the wrong. Nevertheless, your loved ones' precious lives were forever taken away. So I'd like to ask for a moment of silence to remember and honor those wonderful Minnesotans who were made innocent victims of others' irresponsibility. In closing, I'd like to thank the State Patrol, its leaders, all of its troopers for its 87 years of truly extraordinary service to all the people of Minnesota. I want to thank the troopers who make up my security team for putting up with me and everything that they have to go through to assure my safety. I want to thank the families of you graduates, because you also will have to endure some difficult hours, lonely hours, waiting for your loved one to return. And finally, I want to thank all of you and congratulate you on your remarkable achievement and tell you that we are in your debt as your fellow citizens for the duties that you will perform for our well-being and our safety. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Governor Dayton and Commissioner Dolman. At this time, I would like to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Matt Langer, Acting Chief of the Minnesota State Patrol, to provide his commencement address.
It's always difficult to follow such good speakers. I sort of wish they wouldn't have been so good before I got up here, but it's my honor to stand before you as the acting chief today of such a fine organization. I'm truly blessed to be here, and I appreciate being able to give the commencement address to the Fighting Frozen 55th. Wanted to thank Governor Dayton for taking time out of his schedule to be here, even in the end of the legislative session. Wanted to thank Major General Richard Nash for your service and your assistance with us at Camp Ripley. Without our relationship at Camp Ripley, we simply couldn't do what we do. Commissioner Dolman, as the Commissioner of Public Safety, for her assistance, leadership, and support of everything the State Patrol does. Colonel St. Sauverd from Camp Ripley, and then the training staff led by Captain Hodap, Lieutenant Fisher, the training sergeants, the support staff, and of course the staff officers for your great work. So as I led up till today, trying to figure out what to say as the commencement address was on my mind and I was putting it together, I thought back about 15 years ago when I attended a college graduation at the University of Wisconsin-Stout. It was a hot day, sitting on bleachers, everybody was anxious to leave, and the chancellor who gave the commencement address ended his 15, 20, 30, 40-minute, whatever it was, address by saying, "You won't remember anything that I said, even next year, but remember this, never pay off your MasterCard with your Visa." And honestly, 15 years later, that's all I remember. So my goal today is to try to change that. I hope you do really remember what I say, other than what I've already said. So seriously, congratulations. 38 of you, congratulations. You did it. You should be very proud. What you have endured was difficult, challenging, testing, stressful, demanding, and now rewarding. The agency believed in you, I believed in you, your families believed in you, and now you can relish in the moment of graduation. Unique to the State Patrol is a common bond we share as a result of our academy experiences. It isn't easy. It isn't supposed to be easy. In fact, it's supposed to be quite the opposite. As a matter of fact, at times, it feels nearly impossible. The job is difficult, demanding, and yes, as you know, very dangerous. As I mentioned at family orientation, there will be no graduation for those cadets who don't demonstrate their complete readiness to be a Minnesota State Trooper. The mission of the State Patrol is focused on traffic safety, education. Every stop, every traffic stop, every interaction, let's commit to prevention because we know that it works. Assisting other agencies, we work hand in hand. We work very well together in Minnesota, and Minnesotans are better off because of it. Assisting the public, the little stuff is big. Changing a tire on the side of the road is a big deal, not only to the person you're helping, but for the hundreds or thousands of other drivers that see a trooper out helping someone in something other than a traffic citation situation. The movement of traffic, we help people get where they're going safely and efficiently. And yes, enforcement. We stop cars and we write tickets. It's absolutely fundamental to our agency. It's what we do, and we are traffic safety oriented to the core. So you're now afforded the opportunity to make a difference. Your activities will save lives. Trooper Mel McCarthy out of our Rochester district last year made 4,138 traffic stops. That means he had 4,138 one-on-one conversations with drivers about errors they were making behind the wheel. The most interesting fact is not only that the number is 4,138, it's that Trooper Mel McCarthy was #1 in the state last year for traffic stops. And oh, by the way, Trooper Mel McCarthy is retiring in just a few weeks. In the twilight of his career, that demonstrates the work ethic that he provides on a daily basis to this state. Trooper Kerry Rindahl issued 689 seatbelt citations and child restraint violations last year. This with the knowledge that 95% of Minnesotans buckle up as they get behind the wheel or get in a car, but yet 5% don't, and those 5% represent half of the fatalities that we see on a daily basis. Trooper Rindahl's efforts have saved lives. Trooper Gordon Shank arrested 217 impaired drivers last year alone. This with the knowledge that the percentage of alcohol-involved fatalities remains stubbornly constant. Over the past 10 years, and impaired driving still remains a leading contributor to fatal and serious injury crashes. People are alive as a result of Trooper Shank's efforts. Trooper Jared Sturgill stopped for 422 stalled vehicles last year. The assistance he provided undoubtedly helped 422 people get where they were going quicker and safer than going it alone. In fact, the State Patrol provided assist to over 73,000 stalled motorists last year alone. Those numbers are real. Those people are real. They represent the work done on a daily basis to make our roads safer. Along with the opportunity to make a difference, you'll have a front row seat to the tragedy that result from poor choices. You'll see the worst of the worst. You'll deal with people who have killed others due to their foolish choices. You'll stand in the cold, in the dark, in the night, on a silent front porch step or front step of a house, anxious and nervous, scared to knock on the door because you know that knock is going to wake up a family and you'll deliver the devastating news that someone isn't coming home. You should never forget those encounters. Never forget those encounters, because the people you deliver those messages to will never forget those encounters. In fact, you should reuse them as a constant reminder of our mission. You should remember those situations, those conversations, by doing everything you can to prevent it from happening again. Our core values, as you heard the governor state, guide the behavior of every member of the State Patrol: respect to the public, to other agencies, toward one another, integrity. Never forget that the badge you're about to receive is a symbol of public trust. Never take that trust for granted. Courage. Just in the last 2 weeks, 2 Alaska State Troopers were killed in a remote village over a dispute involving a $150 couch. A Florida trooper was killed on the shoulder of the road, dutifully doing her job investigating a crash along with a tow driver. Or closer to home, Trooper Ted Foss in 2000 killed on a beautiful, sunny, perfect August day by an inattentive driver while he was doing his job, stopping a car for speeding. Aside from the traditional law enforcement definitions of courage, courage also means you stand up for what you believe is right, even the little stuff. And finally, honor. We honor those who have gone before us. We honor this great agency by paying attention to small things: shiny boots, a perfectly shined belt buckle and badge, a pressed uniform, proudly wearing your trooper hat on each and every traffic stop. These are daily reminders of how we honor our agency. However, we also honor those who we come into contact with. A recently retired lieutenant gave a great example of exactly what I mean. After a 32-year career with the State Patrol, he cleaned out his closet and turned in his equipment. With all the equipment gone, the only thing left was a file cabinet. A cabinet full of his work, a cabinet full of tragedy, a cabinet full of photographs, documents, scale diagrams, witness statements, names, descriptions, people who are no longer here as a result of traffic crashes. Yes, those files could have been shredded, destroyed, turned in, thrown in the garbage, but he admittedly struggled with what to do because those options just didn't seem right. So late one night, he started a bonfire in his backyard, and one by one, file by file, case by case, he burned them, one by one. And as each file burned, he said a prayer as the smoke went up, and he honored those that he came into contact with. He remembered what was said. He remembered what happened, vividly what happened. He said a prayer, and he honored each and every one of the people involved in 32 years' worth of tragedy. So these core values guide your behavior. They keep you out of trouble, and they continue the great legacy of our agency. The author Malcolm Gladwell talks about 3 keys to job satisfaction, and I happen to believe them. Autonomy, being first. You have it in your job as a state trooper. You are free to go out and make a difference. You know what to do. Yes, we have policies, procedures, laws, statutes, regulations, but you're free to go out and make a difference. Save lives, stop cars, talk to people, help people, change tires, provide directions, enforce our laws, take impaired drivers to jail. A founding principle and reality of your future work with the State Patrol is independence, being self-motivated and ready to make a difference each and every day when you go to work. Number 2 is complexity. You'll be challenged. You'll see things the normal citizen can't imagine. You'll have the highest of highs in your career, but you'll also have the lowest of lows. I challenge you to stay mission-focused. I challenge you to find ways to make a difference. With 388 fatalities last year, too many impaired drivers on our roads, 5% of Minnesotans not wearing their seatbelts, distracted driving at an all-time high, we certainly have a lot of challenges. The problems we see are known, yet they're very random and difficult to predict. Your job is to attack those challenges. Each traffic stop, each interaction, each encounter, It all makes a difference. And number 3, a connection between effort and reward. I hope you feel the intrinsic rewards of your work, helping people, giving directions, educating the public on equipment violation, changing behaviors one traffic stop at a time. You should step back and recognize that your efforts do in fact yield reward. While state service doesn't show reward in year-end bonuses, a free turkey at Thanksgiving, or going home early on a Friday afternoon with pay, you can go home knowing the highway was a better and safer place as a result of your efforts, which means more than anything monetary incentive can provide. I sincerely hope you're like me when I was sitting in those chairs. I hope you feel like somehow you found a job you were willing to do for free, and yet every other week someone's going to pay you for your work. I hope you feel that way, because it's an enjoyable career. You're embarking on a truly amazing career. Every experience will be new to you as you begin your work as a state trooper. It's an exciting time for you and your families. I'm excited for you, and I'm excited to see the work you're about to complete translate into making our state safer. Be positive. Don't let negativity get to you. It can and will sneak up on you at times, but be prepared for it and win with positivity. Be good outside of the job. The better you are at home, the better you are here at work. Take care of yourself, both physically and mentally. The challenges of a job in law enforcement are real, and we're here to help. Your partners are here to help. You wouldn't be here without your families. They keep us grounded, centered, and they help us when we struggle. I wanted to stop and take a moment to thank the families affected by fatal crashes for coming here today, just like the governor did. They represent our mission to both deal with the aftermath of tragedy, but also to educate and prevent. They're advocates for the State Patrol in our work. We do not forget their loss. We honor their loved ones. Matter of fact, I would ask the Minnesotans for Safe Driving group, and I would ask anyone here who's lost a loved one, a friend, a family member to a traffic crash to stand up. Please stand up. Cadets, I challenge you to look around and interact with these people after graduation. Talk to them, visit with them, assure them you'll do everything you can to prevent the tragedy from occurring. I want to show a round of applause. Some of them traveled a great distance to be here today. They truly support traffic safety. Thank you. They're a reminder of what we do. They represent what happens when drivers speed, drive impaired, distracted, and make poor choices behind the wheel. Finally, and most of all, believe in what you do. I absolutely believe in the State Patrol. I believe in being a state trooper. I believe in what we accomplish as an agency as a result of collective individual efforts. Never forget what you learned, the big stuff or the little stuff. I'm proud of you, and I'm proud to call you my partners as state troopers. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Langer. Each class honors one of its members by selecting them to speak on behalf of the entire class. This year, the 55th class has selected Cadet Tessa McLeod.
Good afternoon. I know you've been thanked many times for coming today, but I would like to personally thank our loved ones on the behalf of the 55th Academy. It has been quite a journey, and at times we couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. But you picked us up, looked us in the eye, and said you believed in us, and that we could do it. And because of your support and your love, we did it. So again, I thank you. I would also like to take a moment to thank the 55th from myself for allowing me to be the voice for the class. Either you have an amazing amount of faith in me, or you got together and chose the cadet with the most colorful language and are all sitting there biting your nails, wondering what I'm going to say. To the staff officers, if you could please stand. I would like to recognize our Academy staff officers who have mentored us for the past 16 weeks. On behalf of the 55th Academy, I would like to thank you for all of your hard work, your tireless effort, and the time away from your families. We know it wasn't easy for you either. And at times, we wondered how you became such fantastic pushers. But by the end, we knew it was because of your dedication to the patrol and to ensure that you produce great partners. In the beginning, you told us how much confidence and knowledge we would gain, and you couldn't have been more accurate. Our heads are held high, shoulders are back, and in top physical condition as we sit here today, polished, proud specimens because of your hard work and your commitment to us. Sergeant Sprengler, your poise and presence are second to none. From how to be physically fit all your life to how valuable the art of respect is. Corporal Parker, you are the funniest and most terrifying man we have ever met. I'm not sure how that's possible, but you nailed it. Trooper Killian, we have finally perfected our front lean, and I think we might be able to take you on in a push-up contest. Trooper Curtis, thanks to you, we can park squad cars like pros, fill out a 559 with our eyes closed, and recite the NIMS course from memory. Trooper Dingman, you were the calm in the eye of the storm, the voice of reason, and your academic lead taught us so much. Trooper Cruiser, you were born to be a pusher. You have helped our attention to detail and time management become near perfect. If I am ever being chased, it will bring back fuzzy memories of the Academy. So thank you. And Sergeant Halverson, can you please stand? I must include you as well. Who would have thought you could have taken this mess of cadets and turned us into machines? Your ability to make physical training gratifying is outstanding. And finally, to retired Sergeant Cresa, would you please stand? Truthfully, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you. Thank you for everything you've given to us and to the cadets before us. We were very sad to see you go, but happy that we were your final academy. Hopefully, you'll remember us most vividly. And to you all collectively, God bless you. You and your strength, your devotion, and your commitment. You can have your seats. Thank you. And now, let me share with you a piece of us. One evening, about week 7 or so, it was 112 below zero. We were tired, missing home, and struggling to come together as a team. Cadet Arneson called us all out of our rooms to see him at the end of the hall, and we all reluctantly emerged to see what he had for us. He proceeded to give an encouraging speech about the Gophers football team and how their team motto is brick by brick, and how the coaches established this base, this solid foundation of bricks with their players, teaching them the skills they need to become outstanding players and teammates. And at the time, I believe we appreciated this speech greatly, but we really didn't get what it would mean to us until now. When we started this academy, We all had the potential to become what we have achieved today: a team, a family, a wall. We all brought talents, aptitude, and different skills to the academy, just waiting to be honed. The gift of training we have been given made us reach into the depths of our identities to embrace them. The philosophy of brick by brick had become our reality. We all came into this academy as earth. Our staff officers incorporated things to the earth that formed raw blocks, filled with potential, but our potential was unknown. Our instructors provided us skills to take, taught by the best, and we were placed in the fire. And soon, we were starting to take shape and become solid. And as we emerged, we were single, substantial, strong bricks. We were physically pushed, mentally taxed, trained to become warriors, sheepdogs to protect our flock. But it wasn't over yet. The bricks had to be laid out, one by one, and mortar was used to adhere our foundation. The fighting frozen 55th was beginning to become indestructible. Every hour, every minute of this academy was filled with blood, sweat, broken bones, torn tendons, black eyes, endurance, friendship, and soul. We have finally become what the Minnesota State Patrol Training Academy staff intended us to be. We are fighters. We are filled with respect, integrity, courage, and honor. It has been infused forever in our blood. We would all lay down our lives for any one of our partners sitting here or at any other agency. We are a family. We have made bonds that can never be broken. Our wall will never fail. And throughout these 16 grueling weeks, we did not quit. We did not die. We did survive. Cadet Arneson, would you please?
This is our foundation.
Thank you.
Nicely done, Cadet McLeod. The 55th Training Academy has 2 awards to recognize class members attaining the highest level of accomplishment in the following categories: academics and Chiefs Achievement. The Academic Achievement Award will be presented first. This award is presented to the Minnesota State Patrol Academy graduate who attains the overall highest academic scores during the academy. This is no small accomplishment, considering the amount of material presented in a short period of time, along with the high standards and intellect of our graduates. The Academic Achievement Award for the 55th class is presented to Cadet Jared Zockert. The Chiefs Achievement Award is based on excellence in overall performance in the Academy objectives, which include professionalism, leadership, accountability, discipline, esprit de corps, and individual basic tasks and physical fitness, along with demonstrating the Minnesota State Patrol core values. The Chiefs Achievement Award for the 55th class will be presented to Cadet Thomas Krolak. One of the ways in the Academy to build pride as a class and individually was the use of a Guidon. A Guidon is an individually designed flag used to identify a unit or class when marching. Each class personalizes their Guidon and designates it by adding a streamer with their class identity. The 55th Academy has identified themselves as the Fighting Frozen 55th. The Guidon is used to stress the goals that the class is working towards and show pride in the organization they wish to join. Academy staff troopers present the Guidon to one individual that has shown outstanding performance, high motivation, exceptional leadership, or other similar characteristics. The chosen cadet will then carry the Guidon until the Academy staff troopers pass it on to another cadet. The Guidon is required to be with the class at all times and must lead the group in marching and running. The 55th graduating class now retires the Guidon to Corporal Parker, and it will be stored until it is eventually introduced at the next Academy to carry on this tradition. At this time, I would like to ask all the badge pinners to proceed to the back of the auditorium and funnel to the wall to the left, your left. You'll notice pieces of paper with your cadet's name on them. Please find those pieces of paper and stand there, and our Academy staff troopers will assist you in getting lined up in the correct order.
First row, attention! Left, right!
At this time, the cadets of the 55th Training Academy will be receiving their badges. Dustin Lewis. Derek Swanhorst. Burton Crary. Sean Stang. Sean Leszewski. Russell O'Fallon. Joshua Eisenbacher. Joseph Setness. Eric LeBeer. Jared Zockert. Josh Orbeck. Cody Carlson. Terry Wood. Jacob Letourneau. Kyle Goodwin. Adam McGuire. Keith Erickson. Dylan Reeland. Thomas Krolak. Michael Wren. Jake Thompson. Michael Kobolinski. Daniel Britz. Brett Bilkey. Tessa McLeod. Grant Davison. Aaron Myron. Justin Schulke. Brian Schwartz. Daniel Poptelican. Eric Anderson. Deanna Wayne. Jeffrey Mose. Andreas Gomez. Benjamin Karen. Chad Arneson. Elissa Schmidt. Brian Mueller. Lieutenant Colonel Langer will now administer the oath of office to the new troopers.
Left, right.
55th class, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear. To support the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution and laws of the state of Minnesota. And that I will faithfully and impartially discharge the duties of State Patrol Trooper. Employed and designated under. And pursuant to the provisions of Chapter 299D. And all acts amendatory thereto. To serve the state of Minnesota. And the United States of America. Honestly and faithfully. And at all times fulfill my oath. As State Patrol Trooper. To be loyal to my supervisors and fellow troopers. And obey and enforce the law. Without fear, favor, or discrimination. As to class, color, race, or creed. To help those in danger or distress. And if necessity arise, lay down my life, rather than swerve from the path of duty. And to conduct myself at all times in accordance with the highest moral standards. And never commit any act that will reflect discredit on the Minnesota State Patrol. Or any member thereof. All this I solemnly swear. To the best of my knowledge and ability. So help me God. I now present the 55th class of the Minnesota State Patrol.
At this time, I would like to just acknowledge our office staff, Explorer Post members, and interns that had helped with today's events. We couldn't have got that done without you. Thank you. I'd also like to take this time to personally congratulate the class of the 55th Training Academy and wish you the best of luck in your future. Would you please stand while the MSP Honor Guard retrieves the colors? Would the uniformed troopers and staff please remain standing? The rest of the audience, please have your seats. I'd like to thank you all for coming today to the 55th Training Academy graduation. Please remain seated as the new troopers are forming a receiving line backstage. The Academy staff, followed by the uniformed troopers, will welcome and congratulate them. We welcome you to join in behind and enjoy some refreshments. Please have safe travels on your journeys home, and thank you for coming.